Every day, we are faced with an endless stream of decisions. And while we claim to love having options, the sheer volume of choices leaves us exhausted, paralyzed, and secretly wishing someone would just tell us what to do. In 1880, the Russian author Fyodor Dostoyevsky captured this exact psychological tension in his masterpiece, The Brothers Karamazov. Early in the novel, an intellectual named Ivan tells his devout brother Alyosha a story. It is a thought experiment designed to illustrate how human nature collapses under the pressure of moral independence. Humanity struggles less with the fight to obtain freedom than with the psychological weight of actually possessing it. Ivan argues that free will is a burden most people are ill-equipped to carry. Ivan sets his tale in 16th century Seville, Spain, during the height of the Inquisition. It is a time and place defined by absolute religious control over every aspect of public and private life. Into this environment, Christ quietly returns to earth. He performs miracles for the suffering masses, but his presence is immediately treated as a threat. He is arrested and thrown into a dungeon by the city's 90-year-old Grand Inquisitor. During a late-night interrogation, the Inquisitor tells Christ that his original gift of freedom of choice was a mistake. For 15 centuries, the Church has worked to correct this error by building a system that removed the need for individual decision-making. Powerful institutions maintain their grip by offering a specific trade. They will handle the terrifying responsibility of self-governance if the people will simply provide their total obedience. The Inquisitor explains that the path to total control was revealed long ago. He views the 3 temptations of Christ in the wilderness as the specific pillars required to govern the human race. The first temptation occurred when the devil asked a starving Christ to turn stones into bread. Christ refused, arguing that humanity must follow him out of free conviction, not because they are being bribed with food. He points out that abstract freedom cannot fill an empty stomach. A hungry society will choose bread over free will. His logic is cold. Feed them, then ask virtue of them. People will lay their freedom at the feet of whoever guarantees survival. By monopolizing basic survival needs, an institution renders personal liberty irrelevant. Once survival is a gift from the state, dissent becomes a form of suicide. The second temptation challenged Christ to leap from the pinnacle of a temple to prove God's protection. Christ refused to use a miracle to coerce belief, wanting people to find faith through their own internal strength. To the Inquisitor, this is an impossible standard. He observes that humans are tormented by doubt and crave the comfort of certainty. Most people lack the psychological stamina required to live without clear external proof. To solve this, institutions provide miracles, meaning absolute, unquestionable answers to the most complex moral questions. When a system provides a final truth, the individual is no longer forced to endure the anxiety of thinking for themselves. When faced with the void of uncertainty, the masses will submit to any authority that provides the appearance of total, unwavering certainty. In the final temptation, Christ was offered rule over all the earthly kingdoms. He rejected political power, refusing to establish a kingdom based on forced peace and worldly domination. This leads the Inquisitor to his final concept, the ant-heap. This describes the deep-seated human desire for a universal, undisputed union, a state where everyone agrees and no one stands apart. People are often terrified of their own individuality. They crave an ultimate authority that can merge them into a single, conflict-free collective where the pain of being a distinct person disappears. The Inquisitor takes the sword of Caesar that Christ rejected, organizing the world into an ant-heap, erasing individuality to ensure a permanent, unified peace. Authoritarianism succeeds by fulfilling this secret desire. It offers the peace of the crowd to anyone willing to stop being an individual. The Inquisitor justifies his rule as an act of personal sacrifice. He claims to have taken the agony of decision-making upon himself, so the millions of people beneath him can live without the burden of choice. He envisions a world where a small elite bears the curse of knowledge, while the rest of humanity lives as happy babes, safe in managed, blissful ignorance. The Inquisitor ends his monologue, sentencing Christ to burn at the stake the very next morning. He waits in the silence of the cell, expecting a verbal defense or a counter-argument. Christ says nothing. Instead, he simply approaches the old man and kisses him on his bloodless lips. The inquisitor is shaken. He opens the cell door and releases the prisoner, telling him to leave and never return. Despite this moment of mercy, the inquisitor remains committed to his system of total control. The kiss is an act of compassion, but it does not dismantle the institution. It highlights the difficulty of using truth or love to fight a system that people have voluntarily chosen for their own comfort. Dostoyevsky's text provides a lens for our current relationship with technology. We often rely on digital algorithms to provide the miracle of curated answers, allowing them to manage our preferences and beliefs to avoid the friction of doubt. We should consider whether we are truly exercising independent thought, or if we are instead actively seeking out modern systems to act as inquisitors and handle our choices for us. Authoritarian structures often take root when a population, exhausted by the weight of self-governance, trades its autonomy for the ease of a managed life. Free will is a gift that many are willing to return in exchange for comfort.